Welcome inside Generations Physical Therapy Studio here in Hurricane, West Virginia. This is episode 11 of Biscuits, Brews, and Ball podcast. I'm Jack Withler alongside Bryan England. We're back in the studio. Isn't there a song?
11's my favorite number.
11 your favorite number?
Yeah, since I was a child.
Was your jersey number or something?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Well,
Basketball?
It's my son's jersey number too.
Did you play baseball?
I did until 7th grade.
Not very good, huh?
No.
Okay.
I was terrible. This ball was coming at me real fast, and I kept stepping out of the box and swinging, and just didn't work out.
Scared of the ball? Did you get hit?
When I first started player pitch, I got beamed real bad, and
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm a pretty tough guy. I just couldn't mentally figure it out, so
Yeah.
had other passions.
Baseball's a tough sport.
Very tough.
I mean, it's tough to hit that. Oh, whoa, watch out now.
Whoop,
We're,
sorry.
yeah. Podcasting just got tough coming at me. I think we're all right here. But yeah, baseball's a tough sport.
Yep.
It's a thinking man's game is what I always say. You got to think of what that pitcher's going to throw, and he's thinking, other things. And
Yep.
so, but
Yeah, a lot of respect for baseball players. We have this discussion all the time. What is the hardest sport? And what takes the most athleticism, or what takes the most skill? And
it's got to be water polo for me.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Because you can't swim.
Oh, I can swim great, and that's why.
Oh,
But I'm telling you, me swimming great by myself, but then you throw three dudes on you trying to get a ball from you, and you just have
true.
to, I mean,
Trying to
there's no
drown you.
bottom.
you're trying to drown.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can just stand up in the pool.
Right.
There's no bottom there. So, I mean, you talk about the strength and
Yeah.
what you got going on there.
I think baseball wins the argument of the hardest sport to be good at because of how much skill it takes.
Yeah.
Physically strenuous, no, compared to
No,
others.
no. I mean,
But hardest, probably.
yeah. I mean, because it's basically a game of failure.
Yeah.
I mean, you succeed 30% of the time, and you're great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even in basketball, which is it's a very skilled sport. If you're shooting 30% from the field, you're not very good.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it's 30% at the plate it's not bad.
No, it's
pretty good.
You're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of things going on. Sports world, high school sports is wrapped up. They just had their baseball tournament, state baseball tournament in Charleston. Softball tournament wrapped up last week. So things are getting into the summer swing now.
Yeah.
3-week period coming up. Some are starting tomorrow.
Right.
Some next week, and then later on others. So it's county by county, which
Every
doesn't make
county.
sense to me.
Every county decides. I think it's one of the more poor decisions we've made in the state. I think letting it be a county by county decision because Kanawha County's in July, and Putnam County's in Cabell. I think Cabell's and Putnam's are in June. I know
June 13th, I think.
Yeah,
Is what they said.
I know Putnam's is. And then we're bordering counties, so we also do things in the summer with other states. So
Can we not get
Ohio-
together and everybody say, here, this is where we're going to be?
Yeah. Well, I'll talk
Because
to.
I heard that even next year, maybe it's going to be school by school
Oh, really?
determination.
My goodness, that could be a disaster. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Now,
Well, Kentucky is open right now. They've been open for a little bit, and then they can go all the way through June to the end of June. And I talked to Randy Anderson, who's the head boys basketball coach at Boyd County, Kentucky, and we were talking about that because I was asking him if he could bring his team over to our shootout, and he said he couldn't because it was outside of their window. But he was talking about the nonsense of having a 3-week period in July, more or less, from his standpoint in Kentucky. And so, it's definitely something that it would be nice if it was uniform, just because it gives you an opportunity.
would it be better for it to be in June?
I think so.
Like mid-June?
Well, just from a basketball standpoint, I could make an argument for actually most of the sports, but from a basketball standpoint, July is the live recruiting period where a lot of higher level AAU tournaments are occurring, and college coaches are going to watch these AAU tournaments. So now, if we do have a handful of players that are good enough to go to these tournaments and be seen, now they're having, they're going to go to that instead of the high school 3-week period, and I don't blame them. We're talking about their future, and so you're looking at a conflict right there from a football standpoint.
Well, football, any type of fall sports, soccer.
Yeah,
if you're in July,
you're going 3 weeks right into a long season in the fall. So, and that's just, we're talking about overuse, injury, lack of rest, So I understand why Kanawha County made the decision from a standpoint of academically. They wanted no conflicts with the summer school, and me of all people, I value that academic mindset. But athletically, I don't think it was the best decision, and I think it'll probably change. Next year, but
we'll see.
Yep.
Got a good show tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Mr. Adam Williams, St. Albans native, now coaching. Just took the assistant coaching job at the Marshall men's basketball program. So excited to have him. We'll have him after we take a break. But what's been going on with your life? We haven't been in the studio forever.
It's probably been about a month, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really glad to be back. Well, we're
got soccer going, didn't you?
Yeah. My daughter finished up her last spring tournament in Blacksburg, Virginia. Just so happened that the super regional for women's softball was going on, and University of Florida and Virginia Tech were playing 3-game series, and it was pretty sweet because the fields were right beside the softball field.
But did you get to go?
Did not get to go. It was sold out, and tickets were pretty high, but heard the roars. Unfortunately, Virginia Tech did not pull it out, which I was rooting for him, mainly because we had a local girl, Jamie Bailey, on the team, so from Hurricane. So, but yeah, we've been doing that and just hustling with the businesses. Finished up school, just shut down. We're shutting down the tap for a week due to renovations and get some things going in preparation for Yak Fest, which is coming up in St. Albans, and then also some new exciting things coming in July that can't disclose yet, so on publicly anyways.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. How about you?
Yak Fest, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. If you are listening and you've never been, you need to come check it out. Obviously, if you're into kayaking, it coincides with Tour de Cole, which is one of the largest flat water kayaking events in the country. And we're excited to have Yak Fest back on Main Street. It's a great weekend for the business. And just overall highlighting St. Albans, West Virginia. 10 to 15,000 people, come throughout the weekend, and just we have a big street festival.
Bring your lawn chair.
Bring your lawn chair and see the sights and the sounds, and do the Yak Fest thing. So it's definitely something to check out if you've never done it.
It's a cool event.
Really is.
And it reminds me of the old regatta when it was in Charleston, but
how do you think
smaller.
The new regatta is going to go?
I don't know.
Are you going to go?
I'm too old.
To fight the crowd? You'll come to Yak Fest because you got a VIP seat in front of
Yak Fest, I can just roll up and bring my lawn chair. And I know where to go. I know where my people are.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I don't know about the regatta. I don't know. Maybe if I lived in Charleston.
Right.
I might.
I'll be interested to see. I know there's a lot of people that had fond memories of the regatta like you did, I'm sure, growing up, that are interested to see if it can be replicated. So,
and I guess it depends on maybe what band is playing or something like that. If I was interested, I may go. But I also remember, I had a lot of fond memories of the regatta, but I also remember the amount of people and the way it was down there. I mean, it's just wall-to-wall people. So hopefully it gets like that again, because that was fun.
Yeah.
But me, I'm just relaxing, man. Finished up high school season.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a summer.
Finished up the MEC season.
Yeah. College is done. So, I'm an empty nester now.
That's big.
Yeah.
How's that adjustment?
I don't know yet. We're just kind of easing into it here in the last week. Parker's moved out. He lives in Fairmont now. Josiah's out, although he'll be back.
Right.
And of course, my oldest son's been gone for a couple months now. So
how's Mary Ann doing with it? Marianne is Jack Withow's wife,
Yeah.
by the way. The better half.
You know why we call her Marianne?
No, I don't.
That's her name.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she's doing fine. I mean,
Yeah.
she likes her space anyway. She
Oh,
likes
yeah.
to chill and watch her programs on TV. You know, of course, this was my first day home from doing something for a while, and
Yeah.
she sent me to Kroger.
God, I hate that.
It's like punishment, especially on a Sunday
terrible.
afternoon.
Yeah.
I hate going to Kroger anyway.
Yeah.
But
So you mowed the yard and you went to Kroger.
yeah. Yes.
Nice.
As soon as I got done mowing the yard, I came inside. She's like, "Can you go to Kroger for me?" I was like, "I guess." So
You're a good man.
we love our wives,
Yes, we do.
even though you messed up the first episode of this. But anyway,
Yeah. She's forgiven me. I have a very forgiving wife. So
You do?
Yeah.
That's great.
She's forgiven me.
All right, let's take a break, and then we'll give Adam a shout and
All right.
get him on here. And we'll talk with him when we come back on the Biscuits, Brews, and Ball podcast. Welcome back inside the Generations Physical Therapy Studio here in Hurricane, West Virginia. Almost said Huntington. Jack Without, Bryan England here on the Biscuits, Brews, and Ball podcast. And on the line now we have St. Albans native. And now he's the new assistant men's basketball coach down at Marshall University, Adam Williams. Adam, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us here. I know you're a busy guy right now, and you are in Huntington, and you say you're making spaghetti for just you.
Yeah, man. It's I'm living the bachelor life again right now. You know, back to my wife and kids are down in Florida still, and you know they're down there, and I don't have my wife here to help me out, and she's probably thinking, "What do you mean help you out? You're not here helping me out with the kids." So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I'm excited to be here. Whenever it all went down, I thought, you know, I got to get up there as soon as I can to get started.
Right. That's awesome. Just for the listeners here, we have Coach Adam Williams. Just a little background for those that don't know. Like we said, Adam is a St. Albans, West Virginia native and former basketball player at the University of Kentucky and Marshall University, and has had a few coaching stops on his way up the ladder at Marshall and West Virginia Tech and Central Florida, Longwood. He was the head coach at Salem University, and also most recently the assistant coach at Stetson under Coach Donnie Jones. And now those of us back home here in West Virginia are super excited to have Adam back at Marshall. Coach, talk to us a little bit about the process of you heading back home to be an assistant here under Coach Dan D'Antoni at Marshall.
Yeah, man, it was very, very quick, a very fast process. Coach Donnie Jones approached me on I think it was a Wednesday morning, and you know, I was working in the office doing something, and he walked in and shut the door, and I'm like, "Oh man, what's going on?" And he says, "You know," he says, "just you know, point blank, hey Adam, I need to know if you would have interest in going to Marshall to work for Coach D'Antoni as an assistant." And I said, well, Coach, I mean, I don't mean to hurt your feelings or anything, but of course, I mean, absolutely, you know, that's home, and I played there, and you know, I played for him there,
Right.
and so. And he's like, "Oh, no, I want to help you and do what's best for you and your family." And he said, "I just wanted to know if you have interest. I think Dan has some interest in you. And I just want to know if you want the job, I'm going to call Dan and tell him you're really interested." And this was a Wednesday afternoon. And by Thursday morning, you know, I was talking to Dan on the phone, and, you know, it was a pretty lengthy conversation. But at the end of it, he ended up offering me the job, and I took it on the spot there. And, I think a lot of it had to do, to be honest with you, Dan and Donnie are pretty close friends.
Right.
In this business, and two guys that are West Virginia natives that have really climbed the ladder to as high as you can go.
Right.
And I just think that there's a lot of mutual respect there and trust built between those two. And there's no doubt if it wasn't for Coach Jones that I don't think I'd have this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty awesome that you have two guys there that you've worked for and going to be worked for that have that kind of relationship, that they care enough about you to try to help you, make the best decision for you and your career and your family. So I think that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, well, I think, the sign of not only a good coach, but a great person. Obviously, going into this time of the summer with recruiting right around the window, whether I'm awesome at my job or not very good at my job, you don't want to lose an assistant at that point in the summer.
Right.
And I just think it shows the amount of selflessness and how Coach Jones cares about those who have been around him to want to help, And so, I'm really lucky. And, I know Dan a little bit. I don't know Coach as well as I know Coach Jones, obviously, but you talk to anybody that's ever worked for this guy. I mean, it's just praise after praise after praise, and just how good of a person he is. And really the biggest thing with him is not only his intelligence as a coach, but the perspective he has on life and keeping things, what's first.
Right. That's awesome. Before we get into more about your new stop here at Marshall, just tell me, what did you take from your time with Donnie? Like, if you could just encapsulate it with, a short statement, like when you're thinking about it right here, today, what did you take from your time with Donnie Jones, as a coach, playing for him and coaching with him?
Yeah, I think just the everyday approach. Donnie's a consistent guy, and every day he walks in, and no matter what's going on in his life or what has happened in the program, it's hey, you know what? I'm positive we're moving forward. The sky's never fallen. It could always be worse. There's an issue. Okay, let's solve the problem. It's never, the world is ending. We don't know what we're going to do. This is, I'm in trouble. I don't know what's going to happen. It's always, there's a solution to a problem, not panic. Let's just find the solution. And he's such a positive energy guy.
Right.
And I think that outlook of coming into the office every day, that rubs off on your staff. Yep. And so if you're a guy that comes in and the sky's falling every day and it's the end of the world every time something comes up, it's a little problem. That's, as Coach Jones likes to say, that's being an energy vampire. He uses that term out of a John Gordon book. Yeah. And Coach Jones is like the anti-energy vampire. He gives energy to everybody else. And really, when things maybe aren't going as well, that's kind of the lesson is, you know what? It could always be worse, man. Let's solve this problem. It's not the end of the world. And having that everyday approach, because, basketball, just like any other job, there's ups and downs and wins and losses. And, you kind of got to stay even keel to really push forward and be successful.
Right.
Hey, Adam, you talked about how quick turnaround this was for you. And was the decision easier because it's Marshall and you're familiar with the area and the people there, and, of course, back home close to your family?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, that made it a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I've told people this. I'll tell you guys. I wasn't just going to take any job. Donnie, working for Coach Donnie Jones is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's another guy that I know I've talked a lot about him, but I just think really highly of him as a human being and as a coach. And I just wouldn't want to go leave a good situation like, why mess with happiness? You've heard that statement before. Right. And so, the fact that it was Marshall and that my dad played here, my sister played here, my wife's an alum, it's just kind of one of those no-brainers. Like, I was going to Marshall. And then the fact that one of the best offensive coaches in the country is there to learn from and hopefully me do my job and help him, it was just like, the cherry on top.
Yep. That's awesome. So I know, obviously, you're going to step right in and contribute on the recruiting front, I'm sure. Just a little bit different topic here, but what are some of the qualities that you look for when you're recruiting as a college basketball coach at the D1 level, specifically now that you're at Marshall? I know system matters. So you're going to be looking for the guys that, the kind of player that Dan wants in a system. And but you personally, just overall, your philosophy in recruiting, like what are you looking for as a coach?
I think the two biggest things, and one of Dan's biggest things, and is I know this. I haven't even had a chance to sit down and talk with him, but the whole staff reverberates this and is consistent. He wants a guy to love Marshall University. He wants a guy that has been recruited here, and they want to come to Marshall not because they're trying to get to the NBA in a year, or not because they're trying to do them and I'm more important than the program. He wants a guy that sees Marshall as a great opportunity to be part of a brotherhood and comes here because they love it. So I know that Coach D'Antoni likes that. As far as what you're looking for, I think maybe not generically, but sort of generically speaking, from my standpoint, number one, you got to be talented. Let's face it. That's the number one most important thing is you have to have the skill set to be able to impact the Division I level.
Yeah.
And so for us here, dribble, pass, and shoot, skill set. And athleticism is great, but, that's what they have track and field for, the guys that can run fast and jump high and can't play basketball.
Yeah.
Go run track. You got to have the skill set. And then I think just right behind that, if not equally to that, is, you have to love to play. Mm-hmm. Absolutely eat you up when you don't play well. You just can't wait to get back out on the floor no matter what. You have to love the game of basketball to play at the college level and be a good player.
Right.
Because there's just too many ups and downs. And, in high school, for most of these guys, every day was a good day. You didn't have many bad games.
Right.
You just didn't. And that's more fun, I mean, I was more of a scorer when I was in high school, and that was a heck of a lot more fun than just going out and just playing a regular role in college. But I loved to play, so I enjoyed it.
Right.
And does that make sense?
Oh,
and
yeah, for sure.
I think those are the two biggest things, the skill set with talent and then loving to play, character and things, we're character program.
I think he's walking down a hallway or something on us.
You guys there?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, sorry.
To your point there, I was talking to TJ Douglas about this the other day, and we were talking about like just the things that you have to do, especially when you're maybe not the most athletic, player on the court, and other things that you have to do to kind of separate yourself. We were talking about his career, and just obviously he could shoot, and there's a lot of kids that can shoot, but if he wasn't able to defend the way that coach wanted them to defend, and he wasn't going to have a spot on the court. He wasn't going to have that scholarship that he ended up getting. So there's a lot of little things I think that you have to do to separate yourself, beyond even just talent, because there's a lot of talented kids out there, especially at your level, who's doing the little things.
Yeah, and those little things too, like we tell kids that this is really for the next level of kid, but these kids look and they think they want to be a pro player. And it's like, okay, that's great. We all want to be pros, and you might have an opportunity to be a pro, but understand at that level, there's 15 to 20 players in the entire world that are stars. LeBron, Damian Lillard, all those guys, Giannis. Everybody else is a role player. They have to shoot it really well, defend their position, rebound, block shots, be a great communicator, whatever it may be.
Right.
And so you're really looking at the NBA, the highest level of basketball. It's 93 to 95% role players doing your role, whatever it is, all the little things. And then you have maybe the top 5% that just get in the game because they score the ball. And the reality is that trickles down. So maybe in college it's not quite that high of a percentage, but it's a very similar breakdown. Every team, you may have one or two guys that are big time scorers. Everybody else better play a role, or you're not going to get minutes.
Right.
Adam, I know your schedule's going quick here, and you just got into town, and of course living a single life. But take us into what the next couple of months, your summer is looking like at Marshall. Yeah,
we just the freshmen got in today. Excited to have them in and get them on campus and acclimated. And here before you know it, not this weekend coming up, but next we'll be going out on the road for the first high school period. And it's recruiting is right around the corner, man. And I know that the upperclassmen just left as I was coming. They were going. They had been here working out, and so they're spending some time at home right now with their families and enjoying some time off. But they'll be back in late July, and we'll be getting cranked up again.
Yep. Yeah, I know it's important to get those freshmen on campus as quickly as possible, get them in and start getting them in the system. So, yeah, that's really important there.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing with the freshmen and any young man that's going to college, but especially a student athlete in any sport, is just that time management aspect and knowing, when do I do my homework? When do I relax? When do I sleep? When do I eat? I mean, I can't tell you how many times, man, you look at the clock and it's like, oh shoot, I forgot to eat. It's 1:00 and we have practice at 2:30. And so now guys get in practice and they're like exhausted. It's like, well, you okay, man? Yeah, coach, I forgot to eat or I didn't eat. And that sounds silly, but when you got that schedule of tutors and classes and weightlifting and all that, I mean, it sneaks up on you. So you really have to learn how to budget your time well as a freshman coming in. And that's something this summer really gives these guys a good chance to get a jump on that.
Right. So a little change of subject here. Obviously, you went to college in Huntington, and your wife went to college in Huntington, and growing up, you visited Huntington. Food is a portion of this podcast that we like talking about, food and beverage. But what eatery are you most looking forward to visiting or frequenting now that you're back in Huntington? Maybe your comfort place.
Gosh, you know what? I wish I could give you a good one, man, but it's been so long since I've been here.
Yeah.
It's like, this place has changed and grown. Because I haven't been in Huntington on a consistent basis since I was a graduate assistant in the 09-10 season.
Gotcha.
And so
over a decade.
Like I'm down there, and I'm talking about, we used to love going to Fat Patty's after the games, and the guys were like, yeah, well, the guy that owns Fat Patty's doesn't own Fat Patty's anymore, but now he owns this other place down here, and I'm just like, what other place? And then they tell me, and I'm like, well, I never heard of that place.
Yeah.
And, just stuff like that.
That place is good.
So, yeah, I went the other day at Calamity J's. It was really good.
Yeah.
I was impressed. And so, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm walking into this just like a guy that has never been somewhere, even though I've spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
And I'm telling our ops guy, Neil Skaggs, I'm like, shoot, man, take me everywhere. Where are we going today?
Right.
And so, he and Corny and Mark Klein and those guys, man, I'm kind of following their lead right now with the food, trying a little bit of everything, and I'll probably have an opinion in about 2 months.
I gotcha. All right. Well, we'll check back in with you on that later on.
So you're making spaghetti tonight. Do you put the meat in your sauce or what? Just sauce?
No, I don't. My grandmother was born in Italy, my mom's mother, and so we don't do the meat and sauce. We might do some meatballs.
Yeah. I got
but
you.
the meat in the sauce is an American thing. That's. I always make fun of my buddies and say they're eating manwich. That ain't spaghetti to me.
I got it.
And so I make the real sauce. I've been over this pot for about 2.5 hours now. I don't do the canned stuff, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Well, Adam, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and good luck in everything you do down at Marshall. Glad to have you back here in West Virginia.
No, I'm super excited. I appreciate you guys having me, and love to have everybody come out to our Herd game this year. A lot of faces I haven't seen in a long time that I look forward to see this year.
And you can take him out to eat somewhere afterwards.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate it again.
Yes, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right, you too, Adam.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Adam Williams, new assistant men's basketball coach at Marshall University.
Yeah.
Doesn't know where to eat yet.
Doesn't know where to eat.
Things have changed.
Yeah, they have. Now that I think about it, time flies. I didn't even register with me how long it's been since he's been on regular
on campus there.
Yeah. So, no,
he'll learn.
I love the authentic Italian thow.
Oh, I do too.
That's next level. Like
Meat
he
balls.
was ready for that answer, even though he didn't know we were going to ask the question.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of eating, I had 2 Susie's biscuits this week.
It's state tournament week.
Up at the state tournament.
Had to. Yeah.
Had the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit on day number 1 on Friday morning. And then Ryan Pritt bought me I had the BLT
Okay. BLT biscuit.
Yeah.
I've never
You
had
talk
that.
about good.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, the BLT is right up there.
Yeah, I've not had a BLT biscuit before
What?
anywhere. I've had a BLT sandwich, but I've
You got
never
to
had
get a biscuit now.
I'm gonna have to try that. To be honest with you, I'm 10 minutes from Susie's,
Yeah.
and I just never get around to venturing down there, even though we have an ice cream trailer literally
Right there.
across the street.
Yeah.
So I think it might be time for me to follow your lead.
Yep. Get on a biscuit.
Right.
So, but yep, I recommend the BLT.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all good there.
Yeah.
I know guys that just like sausage biscuits and they swear up and down they're the greatest biscuits ever. I'm like, I put something on it other than sausage.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had this discussion. Many people have had this discussion. You've had it with other people. I've had it with other people. Susie's versus Tudor's biscuits.
Yeah.
Analyze the difference between the two biscuits.
The size.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not down in Tudor's. I'll
No,
eat Tudor's
absolutely
biscuits
not.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
but I just favor a Susie's biscuit. I mean,
So the size
they're just
is-
so big.
Susie's is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the portions on that biscuit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fills you up.
Yeah.
I always say it's a man's biscuit.
Generous.
But I don't know. I grew up going to Susie's. My dad, coal miner, that's where he went.
Right.
And it was the old, he goes in and all his buddies are in there, and you see the old guys.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, they get the coffee, the biscuit, they sit down, they talk politics and how they're going to change the world and how people need to do this. But that was it.
Yep.
That was Susie's for me. Going there with my dad. So, fond memories growing up.
Something to be said for that.
But, I go into Tudor's and you see the same thing there.
Yeah.
So you go into McDonald's, you see the same thing there.
Right.
So, but that's just it for me. So,
Yeah.
and it's a South Charleston company.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's good company.
yep. So the tap's going, a little renovation that you're not going to say, but
Yeah, we're doing some renovations.
Exciting there.
Some very important things for the success of our business moving forward, and then we have some news coming out. We did have of some things that are going to happen in July, but we did have a new eatery take over our
Kitchen?
brunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the kitchen, and which we were preparing the brunch for the first 6-7 months of us being in operation, and we decided to invite Buster's Blazing Grill, which is a food truck. A friend of mine, Scott Hanna, is the owner, and he lives in Lincoln County now, but he's from Winfield, and he ventures in Putnam County a lot, and so in Kanawha mainly with this truck. And so they took the brunch over and basically took our menu and are doing it the exact same way, and then adding their stuff. They added 4 or 5 things to the menu, and let me tell you, it's awesome. They got a brunch burger that is next level. I know a lot of people do brunch burgers, but this one is in between 2 pieces of French toast, sourdough bread. So hard to beat that. And then
so are they just doing brunch?
they're just doing
on
brunch
Sunday?
on Sundays. Bogies still has the
Okay.
menu 6 days a week, or 5. Yeah, 6 days a week. So Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah,
And the brunch is what time?
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
10 to 2 on Sundays. Yep. So
Sounds good.
yeah, yeah.
Ice cream still going
Come
well.
check it out. Yeah, we're in peak season now.
Yeah.
It's warm. People like getting out, so we're selling a lot of scoops. Got 3 locations, like we've talked about before: South Charleston, St. Albans, and Taze Valley.
Yeah.
So it's hard to mess up ice cream, Jack. Just scoop it,
Yeah.
and you eat it.
Just put it in whatever. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff there. But high school wrapping up. We talked about that earlier. The state boys baseball tournament at Power Park wrapped up this week. Softball wrapped up last week. Jefferson, Class AAA in softball.
Yeah. So surprising. I watched
I was surprised.
the Jefferson John Marshall game.
Yeah.
And also the Lincoln County St. Albans game that was played right after. And after watching the Jefferson John Marshall game, I thought, I thought the state champion was Lincoln County or St. Albans.
Yeah.
But kudos to them. I mean, that's why we play the game. And it's tournament time. Anything can happen. And Jefferson, they were able to get it done.
Yep.
And pretty exciting. Softball's an exciting sport. We've talked about it before.
Oh, yeah, it's growing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's growing. I think it is just, it's big here in West Virginia.
Right.
Especially
Really
here in the southern part, in the Kanawha Valley.
Yeah.
You just got so many good teams.
Yep.
And, of course, Herbert Hoover won Class AA, defeated Winfield.
5th in a row for
Yep.
Hoover.
Yep, so.
Shout out to Steve Hensley, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he got the girls there,
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Unfortunate that Macy Balgus
Yeah.
kind of strained her arm and couldn't pitch at that championship game.
Yeah. Dealt with some injuries there, but,
Yep.
me and you both have spent a lot of time in the Winfield community, and that community gets behind their teams.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and I know that they were really excited for that softball team and that group of girls and those coachings. Pretty awesome to see Steve have that kind of success, and he deserves it.
And I think they got the majority of that team coming back.
They do. I think they're only losing 2 kids, right?
Kennedy Dean, the catcher, is going to Youngstown State.
Yeah. I think maybe one more. I'm not 100% sure about that.
So,
But yeah, and even since Steve's been the head coach, they've done some facility upgrades over there, and new press box, new concession stand, dugouts. So the guys really put a lot of time and effort. Obviously, for those that don't know, he's a 2-time state champion with baseball. In the early to mid 2000s at Winfield. So.
Class Single A in softball was Wahama, the White Falcons. They repeated from last year. So, and then we had, like I said, we had baseball this week wrapping up at Power Park. And Class A, the big surprise, Charleston Catholic. I think they had a losing record overall.
Yeah.
But it's all about when you're playing well.
Right.
And they were playing well at the end of the season. And so they defeated Wahama 6-5. That was a great game. Class AA, Logan, the Wildcats rolled.
Yep.
They were the favorite coming into that tournament. They defeated Fairmont Senior 11-6.
Second in a row for Logan.
And then Class AAA was Hurricane. Defeated George Washington. Now, George Washington was a big surprise to get there.
Yeah.
Upset St. Albans in the sectional.
Yep.
And then defeated Greenbrier East twice down in the regional to get there. And then a big upset of Jefferson.
Right.
Coach Lowry's been there forever.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Baseball here in the state of West Virginia when it comes to high school. So it was a big win for George Washington over Jefferson, but then kind of ran out of, I think pitching kind of hurt him going against Hurricane. Hurricane defeated 11-0 in 5 innings, and Redskins rolled.
That's right.
Coach Sutphin, St. Albans native.
That's right.
Brian
There's a
Sutphin.
lot of roads that lead to St. Albans. Sutphin's a great guy.
I still think everybody comes from Logan County, though.
Yeah, that too. That too.
But yeah, Hurricane gets the victory. I think that's their 4th state title
I believe so.
there.
Yeah.
And
No, I know. It's just it's a baseball town.
Yeah.
And
it's another community that
yeah,
supports their teams.
they do. Yeah. Do you remember the state basketball championship game when Lance Sutherland had the
Well, they went to triple overtime in
Against
the
Huntington.
semifinal against Hedgesville the night before that ended after midnight.
right?
And then they had to turn around and play Huntington, which it went to
double overtime.
double
I believe.
overtime.
But do you remember the Civic Center, the crowd?
Yeah.
It looked like a W Marshall basketball game back when we used to play them at the Civic Center, and it's like 3/4 blue and gold or gold, and then pocket of green.
Yeah.
That's how it was. It was red, a sea of red in the Civic. It was impressive how many Hurricane fans were there.
Yeah, they get out and support.
They do. So that's what we love about high school sports, though. These communities that support their teams and support these kids and those coaches that, put a lot on the line for just the love of the game and the love of, each other. So pretty awesome. Love high school sports.
Yep. Of course, I'm going to get a rest here before football season starts.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Not sure what I'm going to do. Cut grass. That's about it. hopefully.
Eat a little bit of ice cream.
Yeah, I got to get down there and get some ice cream. Go to the Yak Fest.
Yep, Yak Fest.
Speaking of the summer, you've got something going on in the summer. You've got a coaches clinic coming up.
Yeah, we've got a coaching clinic coming up. It's at West Virginia State, coinciding with the summer shootout that we're doing.
Yeah.
20 teams coming for the shootout. It'll be a 2-day event, June 30th and July 1st. It's also coinciding with a referee camp that is going on, where we've got referees from all over the state coming in.
I'm sure people will be lined up to do that.
Right. Well, they had good participation last year, and I do appreciate these guys coming in, trying to get better at their craft. And they've got assigners and evaluators coming in to help them. They're running breakout sessions in classrooms, watching film of themselves, doing all kinds of awesome things to try to get better. And coinciding with that is this coaching clinic that we have going on. Honestly, man, an awesome lineup of speakers. We've got Dwayne Osborne at University of Charleston. He's going to be speaking about building a winning culture. Brian Poor, West Virginia State University, is going to be speaking about building practice plans. Very important thing for coaches to learn to do. Ryan Airwood at University of Rio Grande is talking about building a scouting report, which we know that he's very good at. Very thorough at. I've sat in his sessions before. So, and then Alan Osborne, Poca High School, is talking about pack line defense. They had one of the better not one of the better, probably the best defensive team in the state last year in high school basketball in West Virginia. So talking about pack line defense, and then really excited about this one, Jacob Gruce, who is also a St. Albans native, has won 2 out of the last 3 state championships in Virginia in Class 3, I believe. I could be wrong. But anyways, he's going to be speaking about quick hitters and special situations in the game of basketball. And then Brett Rector, who is now the head coach at Salem University, and he'll be speaking about creating an offensive identity. So, this is something we used to have a coaching clinic in the area when I was first coming up into coaching, and it's been I think the Coaches Association put it on, and it's been a while since we've had one, but I just think that there's a huge need for a professional development opportunities around here for coaches that want that, and I think it's important as a coach to want that. These guys that we're going to have the privilege of listening to have, they've all been there, done that. They're championship coaches at multiple different levels, and it's exciting that we have this opportunity here at State coming up in June. So June 30th.
June 30th?
That's the coaching clinic. So
good stuff.
Yes, sir.
So I think that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it again.
Awesome.
We should do this more often.
We should. Yeah, we talk about it, but I think we're actually to a point now where I think we can.
Schedules are slowing down.
Yeah, my last day at St. Albans High School for the summer was this past Friday, and so full-time business owner now. So for a little bit,
we're always doing something.
Yeah.
So anyway, we want to thank Adam Williams, who joined us today, the new assistant basketball coach for the men's basketball team at Marshall University. Making his spaghetti tonight the real way.
The real way.
Yes.
The Italian
way. So, but thank him for joining us. Until next time, you've been listening to Biscuits, Brews, and Ball podcasts with Jack Withrow and Brian England. See ya.